If your wife has told you something that she wants you to change, maybe you interrupt her, maybe you leave your socks on the floor, maybe you raise your voice when you're frustrated, and you've actually been intentional about changing it, but she doesn't notice or acknowledge it, and she's very quick to criticize you when it happens again, even though you do it so much less than you did before, you're so not alone, and I know it can feel completely pointless to keep trying because it's never enough. I recently got this comment that I want to break down today to support you if this rings true in your marriage. There's something you can actually do to change this painful dynamic. I am Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. Let's dive right into the comments so I can give you a script that will help you feel seen by your wife because you deserve that. So, I'm going to use interrupting as an example here and pretend that this is what this man was talking about just to make it more tangible. So he says here, the first time his wife brings something up and she says, "You always interrupt me." Even if she is being critical, he hears, "This is important to her. I'll do better." He gets intentional about catching himself, and then a month goes by, and like 90% of the time he's getting it right, but she gets frustrated when he does it again, and she says, "You always interrupt me. Why don't you ever let me finish a thought?" Now, his experience is she doesn't notice my effort. The bar is perfection, and failure is not an option. Then 6 months pass, and he's really working on this, and then he does it again because he's human. And she comes in with, "You always cut me off." At this point, he is hearing, "You suck. You're incapable of change." So he stops trying, which makes so much sense. Feeling unseen for your efforts is totally demoralizing. It can even feel like you're living on two different planets. Like, can she seriously not see how much I've changed? When you do stop trying, it's self protection, self preservation. It's rarely coming from a place of retaliation. It's truly exhausting and impossible to try to meet perfection. And at the same time, it obviously brings you back to square one and you're feeling disconnected in your marriage. That's where I want to support you in how you can respond so that you do start feeling seen and acknowledged for your effort. So, straight up saying "you always," it's classic criticism. It's rarely true that we always do something, and the natural response to "you always" is usually to defend yourself and point out all the times that you haven't done that thing, or to shut down and stop trying, or to get critical back and point out what she does. If you've tried any of these things, that's completely understandable, and you've seen that it just spirals into an argument or like silent, bitter tension. So before I share how to respond, I want to highlight what is happening with her criticism. For one, criticism always has beautiful, valid, unmet needs underneath. Needs like to be heard, understood, to be respected. They are generally not seen by you when criticism is used. Of course, you're just hearing the harsh words. In the very same way, any of the responses you might recognize in yourself, defensiveness, shutting down, more criticism, those all have beautiful, valid needs under them too. Needs like maybe you need to be appreciated, to be seen, so many more things. And those are also unhealthy strategies to get those needs met. So I don't want to get too much into the weeds about the needs themselves because I want to get into the new response for you. So just comment roadmap for my free guide, where one of the first things I show you is how to find the needs under her unhealthy patterns and yours, along with so much more. So comment roadmap for that. It is super clearly laid out there. So the other thing that I want to share about criticism is that instead of responding with your own unhealthy patterns, the Gottman Institute actually says that the antidote to getting defensive in these moments is to take accountability. Now, stay with me here because I know that can seem totally ass backwards to what we were talking about right now. Like, why would you want to take accountability when she's completely wrong and not seeing your efforts? What we know is an unhealthy response from you will escalate things and nothing will change. You've seen it before. So the key here is you are not taking accountability for the always part. You are looking for something that is true in what she's saying. So if you did indeed just interrupt her, that would sound like, "I'm sorry, I did just interrupt you. I know how much you hate that and I totally get why. I'll keep working on it." You didn't say, "I always do that." You acknowledged what was true in this moment. You didn't make excuses. You validated her feelings. You owned it. What's happening here is you are not speaking to the criticism, you are speaking to the unspoken needs that she has. This is how we change patterns, even if you're at the 6 months later part, even if she has not been acknowledging your efforts. And that brings us to how to address that part, that she's not seeing your change. If in that very moment when she criticizes you and you say to her, I've been working really hard on this and I wish you saw it, the truth is she's not likely to hear you and empathize with you. If she is frustrated and being critical, there's a really good chance that she's a little bit dysregulated, if not a lot. And when our nervous systems are activated, we go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. These states shift us out of our prefrontal cortex, where we have rational thought, we can see differing perspectives, we can access empathy, and instead, our amygdala is running the show, and we are in protect and survive mode, which is likely the very same reason that you might have gone into defensiveness in the past or totally shut down. Those things tend to show up when we are activated. So if you vulnerably share when she's in fight mode, she doesn't even have access to empathy. Her nervous system is on high alert, interpreting everything as a threat. Again, you have probably got evidence that conversations when either or both of you are frustrated, mad, upset, annoyed, they don't go well. But that doesn't mean that you don't get to share your experience. To really set you up for success, to be heard, take that accountability, apologize, and drop the mic, as I call it. Drop the mic before you add in anything defensive or even share your side. Just let it land. Let things settle. Then later, in a moment where you feel connected, maybe you've just had a laugh or things feel light and easy, this is where you bring up your experience. If you are feeling connected, this indicates you have a regulated nervous system. So that means you feel relaxed, and a regulated nervous system means open for connection. So this could sound like, I am really sorry for interrupting you earlier. I was thinking about when you say I always interrupt you. When I hear the word always, I start thinking that you haven't noticed how much less I do it now. It's really important to me that you feel heard, and I also want to know that you see my efforts. Can we talk about that? There are some really key things here that I want to point out. When you bring this up, we want the goal to be connection. Often when we bring something up, we feel hurt. The sole goal is to be heard, which makes sense. And we also want connection to be at the forefront. It's also really common, of course, to bring it up to just show our person that they are wrong and how they screwed up, which clearly that's just going to spiral. So connection is key. And in this little script, you are doubling down on accountability and apology. You are not saying the word but, which would cancel out the apology in her mind. You are stating your experience of hearing the word always and the thoughts that come with it. If you were to say, you don't notice my efforts, that is a prime example of something that is likely to just get a defensive response. You're stating your need and desire to be seen in your efforts and asking if she's open to a conversation. Now, I know to you, you might see this and be like, well, that seems like a lot. Or even that it would be really hard to bring that up when things are going well. I totally get that. I used to feel the very same way in my relationship back in the hard days, and it was hard. It didn't always go perfectly, but it was me choosing to change our usual pattern, a pattern in which we both got quickly swept up in unhealthy behaviors that hurt each other, which left us both feeling unheard and feeling really crappy. When we know what hasn't worked in the past, we get to choose a new approach to create a new result. I used to literally prep myself like a pep talk in the mirror before bringing things up sometimes that were really bothering me. Be like, you got this, you can do this, we got this. And then I would take some deep breaths for my nervous system, and then I would go bring up the thing. And I want to be super clear here. No matter which one of us brought up something that bothered us, we spiraled. We were so stuck in an unhealthy dance. But things have changed so much over time. And still, keeping it real, there are times that I get nervous to bring something up because my nervous system remembers how poorly it used to go. But I know how to work through that thought. I know how to take care of my nervous system. And when I do, and I approach my husband, I am reminded again and again of how far we've come and that we just work through it together. And that is what I hope for you too. I also hope the message here is super clear. This new approach is not you accepting criticism. It's actually you setting yourself up to be heard and also breaking a pattern that feels painful and hopeless. And this is the very same advice I give women who are on the same end of this as you are. So this definitely isn't about the husband just needing to be the one to break the pattern. It's always just who I'm talking to right now, because you're the only one who can empower yourself to actually take action and make make a change here. I would love to hear your thoughts below. And if you can relate to this experience, I am sending so much love into your day. I'm also sharing a video on the screen directly related to feeling unappreciated in your efforts and what you can do to change that, which is the perfect pairing for what we're talking about today. Thank you so much for being here. And just remember that nothing changes if nothing changes. So comment roadmap for that guide, and let's have a super intentional week. Bye.